What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and Call of Duty should be called Call of Dookie because it stinks. Why am I saying that? Well, the open beta for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 came out these past couple days, and yeah, it didn't do very well. This from Rara on Twitter X. The beta on Steam has peaked at only 74,000. Battlefield, in its first day of beta, had 500,000 players on Steam. The excuse for multiple platforms doesn't work here when Battlefield and COD are both on multiple platforms. What makes it worse, COD's beta includes the number of people playing Warzone and Black Ops 6. Yeah, so if you didn't know, Call of Duty on Steam is all just listed as Call of Duty. It's not broken down game by game by game. It's just a count of everyone playing Call of Duty. Mostly because they have the Call of Duty hub now, where you can access all the games, depending on which ones you own, etc. And they just log all the players that are on there. But yeah, 74K in the 24-hour peak of its release, as compared to the 500K, I think 521,000 somewhere abouts was the total peak of Battlefield. Yeah, that's not good. And I can see why people wouldn't be attracted to this when some of these videos from people actually playing the beta have come out.
The hard point. Sewer release detected. Enemy dog established on your grid. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active.
Guild contact!
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Skewer release detected.
Stacking bodies.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hostile person.
This is less than like 12 hours of the beta being out. And that's right, we already have cheaters in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Less than 12 hours into the beta, cheaters in Black Ops 7. Now, there was some question whether or not this was a real thing or someone actually cheating, whatever. But here from Call of Duty Updates, the actual official page, right, has a little gold check mark and everything, our system caught this account. They're banned. Hashtag Team Ricochet, which is, of course, the anti-cheat software used by Call of Duty. So yeah, this was a real cheater that got banned. I'm actually would be interested in seeing all the statistics of how many people they banned in this open beta, because I feel like it's a concerning amount of a lot. But yeah, wild stuff. 12 hours in, you already have cheaters. And the game isn't even fully out yet. Another big thing people were complaining about was the ever so classic complaint of skill-based matchmaking from Modern Warzone. Probably an account, right, that likes Call of Duty. He states, skill-based matchmaking is really making it hard to want to play Black Ops 7 beta as a solo. I'm okay with running into sweats every now and then, but it's every single game. I just want to play the game and not feel like I'm in a Call of Duty League tryout. Exactly, and there's a bunch of other posts that are like this, complaining about skill-based matchmaking and how skill-based matchmaking is ruining, has ruined Call of Duty. Now, to be fair, this is one of the few things that Call of Duty seems like they're actually trying to address. And maybe, just maybe, coming off the hilltop of saying like we need skill-based matchmaking. Because they stated here from Treyarch in the quote tweet, let's switch things up. Later today, we'll have 2 playlists in Black Ops 7, Mosh Pit and a new option, Open Mosh Pit. Open Mosh Pit features classic matchmaking where skill is minimally considered, featuring team deathmatch, kill confirmed, domination, hardpoint, etc., etc. Call of Duty with the quote tweet live later today. Open Mosh Pit features classic matchmaking where skill is minimally considered. So they finally included it in the open beta. This, little thought, little idea of maybe not have so much emphasis on skill-based matchmaking. Let people, have fun and not have to test themselves constantly, raging out after being spawn killed over and over and over, having to deal with camp snipers every single game. And yes, I know you can have those problems in non-skill-based matchmaking, but at least idiots like me would have some chance to, fight other idiots and not some 12-year-old Korean kid who's autistically playing Call of Duty every single hour that he has free. But perhaps the worst piece of evidence about the state of Call of Duty being so bad and why the open beta is so disinterested in is the confirmation that Shroud gives here in his little clip video that everybody who didn't play the beta were right about what they thought the beta was going to be.
I mean, there's not much honest feedback I could give, bro. It's Call of Duty and it feels like Call of Duty. Like, I don't, it doesn't feel like anything else. It just feels like you're playing the last Call of Duty and then the one before that and then the one, Like, how much feedback can I really give? It's COD.
And that's the big thing. At the end of the day, it's Call of Duty. How much different can you get? And we're on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And there's been other, different iterations of Call of Duty in there. Plus, Warzone. The question starts to arise, how many times can you do the same thing over and over and over, tweaking just little things here and there before people are like, you know what? We don't need to do the exact same thing over again, especially when this does feel like the exact same thing over again. And it's especially the kind of thing you don't want to see if you're Activision Blizzard when it gets reported that you lost hundreds of millions of dollars last year for your parent company. This from Charlie Intel on Twitter X. Breaking: Xbox lost over $300 million in Call of Duty sales in 2024 by putting Black Ops 6 on Xbox Game Pass. That's reported from Bloomberg. Call of Duty's lost sales is one of the key reasons why Game Pass price has increased. Yeah, they interviewed an actual person who I think worked for, or people that worked for or still work at Activision Blizzard, and they all basically said that this game, Black Ops 6, being on Game Pass and costing the company $300 million in sales essentially, is one of the key factors as to why the price on Game Pass Ultimate is having to go up. Like, they specifically blame this thing. Because what happened when this Activision Blizzard deal went through? Well, Microsoft thought they could use it as a way to farm gamers, in the same way that Epic farms gamers using Fortnite Crew, right? You buy the pass, the season pass Crew, you have access to all the rewards, etc., etc. You have all the skins you can buy, the add-ons too, etc., etc. And Microsoft thought by getting their hands on Activision Blizzard and getting their hands on Call of Duty, they could do to Call of Duty what Epic does with Fortnite. The problem is people don't go to Call of Duty for that kind of thing. They're two completely different games with two completely different kind of perspectives of what you want. And the more they've tried to make Call of Duty like Fortnite, the more people have hated it. Beyond just any of the mechanics changes. Beyond the fact that it just feels like the same thing over and over again. It's the three factors of that, plus skill-based matchmaking, plus the silly skins and the guns that have actual roller coaster rides on them that people don't, they don't want that shit anymore. The point here is that they gambled on trying to farm gamers with a very popular franchise, and it didn't work. It's not working. So they need to change. They need to pivot, especially if they want these games to be yearly releases, which, by the way, they shouldn't be. Because when you demand that a company make a yearly release out of a blockbuster franchise like Call of Duty, instead of getting a very nuanced and original idea that's going to have to take some creative time, right? Instead of that, you get Black Ops 7 right after Black Ops 6. And it is the same game, as a lot of people are saying, which leads a lot of people to the conclusion, why should I care? Why should I buy? Why should I even consider it? And the only way that this thing is going to do any figures in terms of players is because it's going to be on Game Pass. So everybody's going to go, they're going to go play it for the Game Pass price. Hell, I'll probably play it for the Game Pass price. And then they'll come out, Microsoft and Xbox, and be like, oh, we had so many people playing Call of Duty, and everybody's saying it's dead. And all the influencers will come out and say, oh, everybody's saying Call of Duty's dead. Nobody's playing Call of Duty anymore. Look at these player count numbers. Yeah, player count numbers aren't sales. And as you can see, Black Ops 6 was insanely popular. There was a lot of hype around it. People wanted this game to be good, and they played it as much as they could before skill-based matchmaking and cheaters ruined it, as they ruin every single Call of Duty game for like the past decade. And even the amount of hype and the amount of desire to play this game and it be good and people actually genuinely, authentically enjoying the game when it came out, like I did, it still ended up costing the company $300 million in lost sales. So what exactly do you think is going to be the financial outcome for Black Ops 7 that has almost no hype around it, is the same exact game mechanically, and is having to compete with the behemoth that has a lot of hype surrounding it coming out, Battlefield 6? The truth is, it's not. It's going to do good player numbers, I'll give you that, but it's not going to do good sales. My guess is that when we get the actual sales numbers, stuff like this, about this like $300 million loss, when we get this kind of intel coming out a year or two after it, my guess is it's going to be a lot more than that $300 million mark, which is something insane to think of. But hey, those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.